Welcome to yet another episode of Beyond Her Story on Wonder Woman Wednesday. And today we have with us Kanchan Bhat, who stands as a paragon of resilience, steering Gabriel Industries with a vision that transcends the traditional realms of manufacturing. From the life threatening challenges in Kashmir to making strides in precision engineering, Kanchan's story is stirring narrative of leadership, innovation, and unwavering commitment to progress and equality. Her multifaceted persona encompasses the fierceness of a sportswoman and the strategic acumen of a business leader, all driven by a larger vision to be a driving force in the rapidly changing manufacturing landscape of India. Let us learn more about Kanchan's journey and get into this conversation right away. Welcome, Kanchan, to Beyond Her Story on Wonder Woman Wednesday. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Sneha, and thank you for having me. I think it's a brilliant initiative, and thank you for making me a part of it. I appreciate it.
So, Kanchan, your life's journey started in Kashmir, and you had to flee Kashmir for safety with just basic essentials. And from there to Gabriel Industries, can you share 5 things that actually helped you reach where you are currently as a director of Gabriel?
I'm not sure if I can specifically share 5 things, but I think the biggest takeaway I have from that experience was that let's say it, let's just say that it raised the bar of my understanding of what humans can do for survival. Basically, when you are in a survival mode, when you are in a situation, it's a primal instinct to survive. To how do you get out of it? I think that is one of the biggest learnings I had, and usually if I'm in the deep end anywhere, what I do is like I will tell myself, that's the worst you've had. There is nothing that can be worse than that. I think at least I haven't had anything worse than that. So if you made through that, you can make through anything. So, and that's just piece of cake. Usually this is what happens in my head. And I think that was one of the biggest takeaways. Situations like these either like make you or break you, in my opinion. And there is no judgment about it, but yeah, they will either make you or break you. And in my case, I think it really pushed me to the better side. The second thing was, I think if you really stick to the things that you love, because I didn't realize it back then, but I stuck to my sports. I was in sports, even in Srinagar, I was in sports, and I stuck to my sports. And if you stick to the things that you really love, it will really not let you switch to the other side. By which I mean to the negative side, because it keeps you sane, it keeps you in rhythm, in sync with life, and it makes you enjoy life. So I think that was one of the important things that really helped me. Another aspect was, I think, my family, because it did. I saw how my father did what he did. He started the business from scratch when things were thrown out of picture. Started it from scratch twice. And the last time was at the age of 65 plus. So if a man who's 65 years old can start a business from scratch at 65 and not give up, I think it's a very huge journey. Yeah. And then my mother, in her own ways, because financially we were very weak once we left Kashmir. There was no means of earning. So how she kept the house together and how she managed the tough times in the financial crunch. How my sister became my very close friend, and she steered me through the difficult times of having shifted from this like very different school and very different situation to a very different situation. In Kashmir, we had a very beautiful school. It was Presentation Convent, but in Jammu, because suddenly too many people had come in, there was no space for school for us. Yeah. We had to go in the second shift. Jammu is like Delhi in terms of heat. So in the middle of the day, we had our classes. It was a very huge shift. And so she being my friend in that position, because, I think those years are a little vulnerable. So when school, adolescence and college, she was my best friend. And although I was a bit scared of her, I'll admit that. We are better friends now. But she still helped me through all the difficult times. So I think those things basically, that how these 3 people were in front of me, there was a lot to learn from them itself. I think that finally transitioning to Gabriel was also one very big reason was legacy. I mean, my father put in so much of an effort, so much of energy. He was stubborn about it. He wanted to do that. He's brilliant. And a lot of people told him that, why don't you do a job? But he stuck to his guns. And I think somewhere I have imbibed that in me. I'm also pretty stubborn. And and we don't give up easily. So, and it's his hard work. It's his 80 years, not 80, but less minus 20, 60 years of hard work.
Yeah.
So, there was no way, and we were thinking about whether it should be sold or what should be done, or should we close the shop. There were people who've been working with us for 15, 16, 18, 19 years. So I did not have the heart to close it down, and I knew we had the potential. So that was the biggest reason of transitioning to Gabriel from what I was doing earlier.
Your love for sports is something that is embedded in various phases of your life. Athletics, badminton, rugby, dragon boat race. I don't even know what it is. So it's like you're connected to sports. So how has it helped you in your life, and what aspects of sports do you actually apply in your corporate life?
So, I always had an inkling for sports. I think it mostly is genetic because my father, in his early life, he used to go regularly on very difficult treks. I remember he could do a handstand. He could walk on a handstand. He used to play badminton. And my maternal uncle is also pretty athletic. My sister used to play basketball. So I've grown up seeing these people. And instant my cousins, my father itself used to call me a monkey because I used to climb everywhere and I was all over the place. And I used to try and balance myself on his head when I was very small. So I think I had enough inspiration. So the things that I have learned from sports, I think it has been the biggest support I have had throughout my life, in my opinion. The first instinct of not giving up at all comes from sports to me. Like I've managed to change the flow of game or a tournament last minute just by not giving up. Wow. In my favor, most of the times, by not giving up. Playing with integrity, it's very critical. Like it's you can cheat easily. It's very easy to cheat, but it's very, because whether I wouldn't be able to sleep with myself if I would cheat. And then accepting that you are being defeated or you have lost. I think it's a very critical learning. I think nowadays it's a very big thing that people don't know how to lose. People don't know how to handle a loss. Like you've lost the game, or you've lost, or you're not successful in something, and it just becomes a very big thing. And how to take it very gracefully, and in fact have respect for the opponent. Yeah, I think those things, some of those things, discipline of time. Yeah, I'm still an early early morning person. I still wake up somewhere between 4:35 a.m. So it has given me all of that, and then consistency. If you want, if I wanted to be somewhere huge or big in my dragon boating career, not a career, but as a sport itself, but I wanted to do really well. So I don't think I really missed any training sessions. So consistency matters a lot. And then overall, I think it teaches you a lot about leadership, because I have been the sports captain in school and college for multiple number of times, house captain, team captains, multiple number of times for multiple sports. And it really teaches you how to bring a team together, how to keep a team together, how to encourage them to do their best, individual best, not in a comparative best. Yeah. Everybody cannot be at the same level. Correct. So if somebody has some strength, somebody has some weakness. So how do you bring up the strength in one person that the person has, and you probably tell them objectively about the weakness, or kindly tell them about the weakness, so that they can maybe improve. I mean, obviously they should be able to take a feedback, but yeah, overall it does teach you all of that and how to let them shine.
You are into manufacturing. So as a woman in manufacturing, what has been the initial perception of people, and what have you found most effective, like in changing these perceptions and also inspiring other women in the industry?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. I'll be very honest with you. Indian women, especially Indian women, we are hugely conditioned for, I don't know how many lifetimes. Conditioned to be a certain way, to do certain things, and this is your box. Correct. And please stick to the box. So we have been conditioned to do that for many, many, many years. And in a similar way, men have been conditioned to think they are superior and all of that. We know all of that. And obviously, manufacturing especially is dominated by men. Yeah. Primarily, there is no two ways about it. I get it. And so most of first impressions I have is that a lot of people used to ask me on the shop floor. I have a lot of interest in going on the shop floor and seeing what machine they have, what is the machine doing. Because see, I'm not an engineer, but I am curious. I like to learn. I like to know what is happening, and I genuinely find machines very fascinating. So if I visit any company, I will always go on their shop floor if I'm permanent, of course.
Yeah.
So, and most of the shop floors in the beginning, the people have asked me, what are you doing? Who are you and what are you doing here? Because there is not a single female on the workshop. And we have a lot of women in our quality section, wherein there's inspection work. But then I always want them to do better in the sense that we always have issues with manpower. It's a perennial issue with all the factories. Even the biggest of the factory is going to say the same thing, and the smallest is going to say the same thing. Having people and retaining them is very, very difficult, especially in these days. So I have always asked them that why wouldn't you want to run the machine? And they think it's not a woman's job. The conditioning thing coming in the picture, it's not a woman's job, it is not right, it is not this, it is not that. There's like a million reasons. Then the only reason I thought which could probably push them was, do you not want to earn as much as the men? Quite a few women were, because see, nowadays you need to work to make ends meet. Correct. So I said, it will be a better life for you. It will be a better life for your family. So if you're coming in here 8 hours and doing something simple, why can't you think of choosing something that's a bit more complicated, but it's not difficult? Correct. So we'll provide you with all the things that you require to learn. As in, the staff will help you, the senior staff will help you. So when I told them this thing, how would you like to earn as much as the men? So they were like, okay, so do char logon ka batti chamka us time pe. They're like, all right. So a few women have now graduated to running second operation machines, not the first operation yet. That is a bit more complicated. It requires a bit more knowledge and training. But as so far so good. So we have come up to putting them on second operation machines instead of just doing the inspection and basic stuff.
Before joining Gabril, actually, you've had a lot of previous experience, and with your extensive experience in various companies, is there any pivotal experience that actually prepared you for your role at Gabril, Kanchan?
I think the most important or the pivotal role I had, or the job which really made a difference, was my first job, in fact. And I think I really got lucky. I got a couple of bosses. One was my immediate boss and one was our super boss. Both of them were like very different and very amazing in their own ways. And there was so much I learned with them that it was absolutely phenomenal. I am still very great friends with them. They have been the best of colleagues and the best of mentors to me. Okay. The immediate boss taught me a lot about leadership, because he would really, he would protect the team very fiercely in front of the others. Like he would take it on himself. Okay. And individually he would wrap us if we had made mistakes, and individually he would give us the job, no problems. But in front of others, he would not let anybody else mess with the team. So and the super boss, he taught me how to think bigger. I think it was like, think big. I learned that from those two bosses I had, and I'm I think eternally thankful to them for everything. So yeah, one of the most beautiful roles.
So Kanchan, where do you see Indian manufacturing on the global stage? Since you're so passionate about enhancing the global trust in Indian manufacturing.
Globally, I have studied overseas. I have worked overseas. I have lived overseas. And by the virtue of working with them, I know what their problems are with Indians in general. Okay. Now, we were not really much well trusted, up until a few years back. The Correct. Scene has changed a lot in last few years. I would say last 4 or 5 years, the scene has changed drastically, especially after COVID, and especially with India's economy doing way better now, and a lot of other things. So there was the feedback that I have always received was that we are not very great at communication. And everybody in the manufacturing industry will accept this part, that if I have a supplier, the person is getting delayed, he will duck your calls. He will not update you, but they will just duck your calls. And I'm like, okay, if you have an issue, I can understand it, but you need to convey it, you need to communicate with me.
Correct.
And I think that, obviously it transcends boundaries, and then we do the same thing with international customers, and that is not acceptable to people overseas, that you don't communicate if there's an issue, because if there's a delay, they in the end they suffer, they will look bad. You will look bad, definitely. There's no ways about it. But they will also look bad to wherever they have to deliver it. So it's always sensible, and it always makes sense to communicate. And the trust factor with we tend to say something and tend to do something else. The quality also, we tend to have this word called chalta hai. It doesn't work. Chalta hai doesn't work at all. And my factory, that word is banned. If anybody says it, I will probably have a fit. So, but it's very difficult to get people out of that mindset. I understand why, the reasons also why it has been like that, because industries pay very low, and so it kind of turns towards that gradually.
Okay.
So, but there's a lot of things we need to change, which have already a lot has already changed. But I think there is a lot more to change, and we are poised actually very beautifully to be in the international market and make it big in the international market. Again, especially in our case, we work in the precision industry, and when we talk precision, it's either Germany or the Americans are really respected for it. And right now we're working with Germans. So I would like India to earn that respect in terms of being trusted for precision, being trusted for every quality and all of everything that is looked up to in Germans or in any other country for that matter. So yeah, I think we have a very, very amazing chance, and a big chance. We are poised really well. So we should make use of it. That's all.
Now let's also talk about the milestone that you have in your mind. You have a milestone to make Gabril Industry a 100 crore company in the coming years. So would you like to share more about this milestone?
I think if you can't think big, then you cannot even do something big. A lot of people have asked me, are you sure 100 crores, it's too big, it's too much? I'm like, right, if I can't even think, I don't think there's any way I can actually even do it.
Correct.
So that's my perspective about it, that if you aim for the moon, you will land in the galaxy at least. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm not, it's not written in stone that I'll do it in 5. I might do it in 4, I might do it in 6. You don't know. But then we have to have a benchmark, a milestone. There's a lot of work that is required for it. And right now we're in the process of putting, it's like a massive jigsaw puzzle. And right now I'm in the process of putting together those pieces of the puzzles together, fitting, okay, this fits here, this fits here. And there's a lot of issues also I foresee, because I'm already working on things when I'm like, okay, this will be a problem, that will be an issue. So it's a huge project, and the thing is that I believe in our capability. I believe we have the capability, and I believe we have everything that is required within India, as in the manpower. It's just a matter of putting all of these pieces together.
Yeah.
So the plans, what you need to do, how you need to do it, strategize over it, basically. Why is that we have the capability of doing it.
Now, listening to your conversation about sports and all the other things that you've done, you emphasize a lot on health and self-care. So how do you make time for your training and taking care of your health in between all this content?
See, I think everything, in my humble opinion, starts and ends with your body. Because body and health, I mean, by virtue of it, people work a lot, and this emphasis on education, studies, paro, marks lao, okay, fine. The children are sitting, they don't have any movement. The adults are sitting, no movement at all. Unfortunately, in India, the conditioning is कि आप पैसे कमाओ, you need to earn money, but and rest everything will happen. But then what the point that they miss is that if you don't have the body first or the health first, there is no way you can earn the money. And even if you earn it, then you can't enjoy the money.
Yeah.
We have examples of the wealthiest people who have unfortunately passed away. And the only thing that they said in the end was that I wish I could have enjoyed it.
Correct.
So it is I mean, when I was in Australia, I'll tell you this example. I would see even 90-year-olds coming for a dragon boat racing practice, or I would see them jogging or working out. How many Indians who are 90 years old in India will you see doing that?
Yeah.
I'll answer none. You won't see anyone. So people unfortunately lead themselves into a hospital first, and then they have this realization, oh, I need to take care of my health. I wish that people don't have to go to a hospital first, and they have this realization beforehand.
Correct.
So in my case, when I joined Gabriel, I had a very clear discussion with my father, and there were a few non-negotiables. I was like, I will make sure that the work is complete or it happens, but I will not compromise on this. If I have to leave early for a workout, I will leave early. I will work late after that. It's okay. I'll do that. I'll do all of that. I'll wake up early. I'll do work late or whatever. I will make sure that people get the responses, or whatever I need to do gets done.
Yeah.
But I will not compromise on this, and don't even expect me to. And he knows how stubborn I am, and he knows how fanatic I am about it. So he did not even bother to. He's like, okay, as long as you know how to manage the rest, I'm okay with that. So, and it's honestly, it's one of my dreams that in my future factories, I will have an open air workout space, gym or workout space, whatever we may want to call it. And movement will be mandated.
Okay.
And it will be a part of KPI. Okay. And I will make sure I do that, because it is. I really want to walk the talk, because I am going to the gym, but I ask my people every day, have you done anything today? Did you do any, like even 2 push-ups, or did you do anything? So they will mostly say no. Yeah. I know that. But if I make it mandatory, if I put it in the factory itself, and if I make it part of the KPIs, then they have a bit more incentive, and it is there. So that's one of the biggest parts of the dream, that in the future factories I'll have it.
Okay.
I'll make sure.
So, Kanchan, I think this has been a wonderful conversation. Is there any place where people can reach out? Because, people may have questions about women who want to get into manufacturing sectors, and
I'll be more than happy.
We have discussed.
You can share my email ID, kanchan.bhat@gmail.com.
And leave your LinkedIn link also, so people who want to
get I'm more than happy to speak to anyone. I would be the happiest if more and more women join manufacturing, because the only way to neutralize the whole gender issue is by women joining it. And trust me, there's nothing difficult about it. If you have common sense and interest in learning, there is nothing that is difficult about it.
Yeah. So thank you so much for this wonderful conversation. Yeah, a lot of takeaways. Especially on one on the manufacturing sector, of course, and secondly on the importance of health and self-care. I think
please take care of yourselves, everyone, especially women, because we always sidetrack our health, we always backtrack our health in front of the whole family. Please don't do that. That's a humble request.
So thank you, Kanchan. Thank you for being a part of this.
Thank you so much, Sneha. Thank you for having me.